Hey everybody, hello, hello. Jessica Coulter here, CEO and founder of Ace Cookie Tutoring. Today we are talking about reading myth number 4, and this is all about the purpose of reading. So there are two purposes. That is why it is a myth if your teen thinks there's only one purpose. So I want to know, what do you think the purpose is behind reading? Is it for pleasure? Is it for learning? Is there something else, another reason to read? I want to know what you guys think. Let me know down below. And before I get going behind the purposes of reading, why they are so different and yet still and really important, I want you to know I have a Facebook group, so I'd love to have you in the Facebook group. And I also want you to know I have put my email in the description for you to reach out and get some book references and book kind of recommendations. So now that you've shared what you think the purpose is behind reading, I want you to know we're going to be talking about two today: pleasure, so for fun, entertainment, as well as learning, so something maybe at school or at work. Okay, so both of those are reasons to read. I can tell you that we have to realize there's two purposes because the different purposes require different types of reading, different levels of focus. Okay. So if we talk when your kids were really, really little, you probably read them books to sleep. Okay, so that was entertainment. That was to relax them. That was to get them ready for bed. It was a family routine. Now, that type of reading, your kids didn't have to know every single detail of the story. They might have if you've read it enough times. And if it was a matter of, hey, that's the story you read every single night, or your kids asked you to read it multiple times per night. And, so that kind of reading, very then when that same child is now a teen in high school, the roles thing there is depending on the type of history class you're in. Very, very different purposes, not just because of your child's age, but because of the reason to read, the purpose of that reading. One was for entertainment, one is to learn. Okay? So before I go too much further, I want you all to know I'm live on Facebook. I'm live on YouTube right now. If you're not a follower of my Facebook business page, Ace Cookie Tutoring, I would encourage you to do that. Hit the follow button on YouTube. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell to turn on notifications. There will be more videos on this topic this week, as well as a new myth video series next week. So if you guys ever have suggestions, just drop them down below. Or now you have my email, feel free to email me with those ideas. So, what else to say about the purpose of reading? Well, we talked about the purpose, entertainment versus learning, but now we really have to focus on the act of focus. So, when your child is being read to, there's not a whole lot of focus, or not a whole lot of 100% attention needed. Whereas if your child is reading the textbook for history, he's paying attention to the text features. He's paying attention to important names and details. And say you're reading a book for history, or for English class, and that book is going to be used for a book report, a paper of some kind, that also requires 100% attention. We have to make sure we're paying attention to page numbers. If we're going to choose citations, we're paying attention to questions that could be on the test. A lot of times your kids will have things to fill out while reading the book, whether it's vocabulary sheets, whether it's character reference sheets. There are going to be things that your teen needs to do while reading to learn. Okay? And do also know, unfortunately, if your teen thinks, hey, I can just plug my headphones in, my earpods, AirPods, whatever, and do something else while only half listening. If your child is trying to listen to learn, so say it's a textbook, say it's something for school, your child is not going to get as much out of it as he needs to be successful on that test, to be successful on that paper. Reading for pleasure, reading for entertainment, definitely don't have to. If you're working out and you're just listening to listen, if you're, like I said, putting your child to sleep, if you guys are just in a family read aloud, just as something to do know 100% attention, 100% focus, not needed for entertainment, but when your child is reading to learn. So whether it's homework related, test related, something that's actually going to be required to learn. Because think about reading a manual and you're putting something together or you're using machinery and you only half pay attention. I can tell you that furniture is not going to look the best it could. And unfortunately, on certain machinery, that could lead to really, really bad accidents. So that's what I want to let you guys know today, is there is a difference between pleasure reading, entertainment reading, and learning reading. So would love to see you all in my Facebook group. Would love to have you as followers, subscribers, and most importantly, I want to recommend some books, because just because your teen doesn't like to read now doesn't mean he never will like to read. Could just be he hasn't found that book that shows him reading is pretty awesome. So email me at acecookie@gmail.com. Email's in the description, so I can send some book recommendations based on your child's age, his preferences, her interest, and give you some tips to make reading fun and enjoyable again. So have an awesome day, guys. I will see you very soon at the next live video.